What's up, YouTube? Dan the Jedi Man here, playing through the first game of the duology that some say will soon be a trilogy, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This game, surprisingly, isn't just an action platformer. This game is actually a 3D metroidvania. That's right. That means there's progression and backtracking due to obtaining powers and equipment is going to be essential to completing this game. There's also quite a bit of collecting for miscellaneous stuff needed for trophies, so let's get into it. I should also preface this that I'm not really a big fan of Star Wars in general. My most liked thing in this franchise is the original Lego Star Wars, the video game. So let's get in and see what sabers we get. We get introduced to one of the survivors of the Purge, good old Order 66. Our main character here is Cal Kestis, who has been hiding out for several years on a planet working to salvage damaged and old ships. Apparently, it's a decent living. Of course, Cal has to save his friend from an accident and uses the Force, which seems to have been filmed by a probe droid in the background, alerting the Empire to come and collect this Jedi and either convert or execute. So we get a fair tutorial and decent intro into the game. After our buddy is mercilessly executed, we get picked up by the supporting cast, a funky small alien pilot, and the bug-eyed bitch, aka BEB. No, I will not call her by any name other than this. Respawn and EA shouldn't have made her look like that. So, we get taken to a special, secret planet that has been mostly uncharted and erased from most records, being a theoretical safe haven. We get told we need to gain access to the vault here, and that someone is waiting for us. We find our new pet droid buddy named BD1, who is also our Estus Flask, one of the most annoying things in this game. Healing takes so long to do, especially in the heat of battle. So many battles I lost because the heal takes too long or it got cancelled arbitrarily. As we progress through this area, Cal channels his inner Prince of Persia, netting us our first movement upgrade, wall running. When do we get the double jump? So, I also fully customized the saber, and I don't know if there was an update or something, but all of the premium options were here, in game. I got this game from PS Plus, so no clue about that. I just wish there were more colors here. Orange will have to do. So we find the vault here and discover that we need to go to other planets to try and get the keys to open it so that we can get the contents. So we bail from here to go to the largest planet of the game, Zepho. Zepho is weird. It feels like they tried to make a lot of things in here feel like we're exploring an air temple from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Giant windmills, lots of air-powered contraptions and puzzles, and some more hostile wildlife. After unlocking our kick ability from the skill tree, we let Cal get kicked by a space goat that we promptly kick back for this trophy. Man, Cal's slow time power is also really cool and kinda OP. I hope it doesn't get drastically nerfed in the next game. Then, the 50th enemy went down from bouncing their bolt back, netting me another trophy. We make our way into the first tomb here on Zepho, earning some new force powers. I also had a hell of a hard time in the tutorial for the force push. It was like super delayed from doing the command to having Cal actually try to push the ball away. So we make our way back to the ship. Oh yeah, huge issue with this game. There is no fast travel. meaning shortcuts are a huge necessity, and expect constant treks through ways to get to the shit that you missed or couldn't get thanks to the Metroidvania design. This wouldn't be so bad, but some of the paths are consistently one way, so backtracking is a huge hassle. Why couldn't they at least add the option to fast travel back to the ship? So we bail from Zepho and head to Kashyyyk, home of the Wookiees. We get dropped off into the coolest set piece of the game, a one-time event where we commandeer an AT-AT and get to go stomping until we get to another lame character, Vista Warrior. Oh, sorry, his name is Saw Gerrera. So we get the goal of making our way through Kashyyyk, arguably the worst planet in game, and after wrecking the Imperial refinery, freeing all the Wookiees who have been captured and made into slaves, we get more progress. It's also funny that Cal can't understand the Wookiees. I nail an enemy into another enemy for yet another trophy, free the Wookiees, and then we gotta go back to Zepho. Kashyyyk sucks as a planet because the jungle aesthetic makes the secret paths obnoxious to find. Figuring out what plants are climbable versus not is just weird and annoying, and the underwater segments later on don't have much of a map, meaning secrets and chests are even harder to find, along with the longest and most tedious routes for backtracking, and some of the longest elevator rides in gaming. So, once we get the Wookiees free, once again we gotta go to Zepho to explore yet another tomb. While here, I parry my 100th enemy for a trophy, along with murdering an enemy through only kicks for yet another. In the tomb, there's some more puzzles, along with finally learning the pull ability. And then I managed to send 25 enemies over the edge. More like over the hedge with all this vegetation in this subterranean tomb.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
After completing the tomb, I also customized Cal, BD1, and the Mantis, netting me another trophy. I then got kidnapped by a bounty hunter, have to rescue BD1, and go through a unique arena fight that we never get to see again or revisit. I slice off an Ogdo's tongue here for a trophy too. After getting rescued, bounty hunters will start spawning on planets during backtracking, making new mini-boss headquarters. We head back to Kashyyyk. Again. Have I mentioned that this game has no mini-map or compass, which makes navigating that much more annoying? Ugh, be nice if this was fixed later. Or if the map didn't take so long to load, open, and navigate, and if we could at least mark the map for things we couldn't get before. Continuing through the jungle, now with water segments that at least have the courtesy to not have a breath-holding mechanic, we can continue to fight super tough giant slugs, giant spiders, and more enemies, one of whom I beat with their own slowed boat for a trophy. Making our way up the tree, saying hi to Rafiki, dealing with evil plants and a giant bird thing, we finally get the double jump ability, and make use of one of the lame light side powers, animal friendship. We save the bird beast, and make our way to the top of the tree, where we finally get a lightsaber upgrade and the ability to make a double-ended marital aid. I mean lightsaber. And then we get to the most annoying boss fight in the game, the ninth sister, Bitch Chungus. I don't think she ever says her name, and I'm not reading the lore or checking the trophy description to find out what it is. She is just Bitch Chungus. This boss is annoying due to several of her movements looking the same, but differing in whether or not they can be blocked or must be dodged. The limp dodge in this game is annoying, and the dodge roll is performed by pressing the dodge button twice. and I was cussing this poor design and BD's low heal speed for a good while. Finally, once Bitch Chungus goes down, her hand gets sliced off, and the bird attempts to finish her off. Meaning that because we didn't do it, she's probably not dead. Yet. So we get to head to Dathomir, an aesthetically cool planet, and get our first meeting with Marin, the best character in this game, and a weird old man who is clearly a Sith. We get semi-trapped down low and have to fight a stupid bat. One really annoying thing about this game is that none of the boss fights are fought or finished in a good way. Once they get down to about 10% health, sometimes even a quarter health, they just end through either a cutscene, a QTE, or just bail from the fight. The bat is a clear example of this. He is annoying, and the back quarter is almost all cinematic and QTE. But at least we can climb faster and climb other surfaces now. So after this, we can get to a locked door and get baited by a save point that wasn't there before. Following for the bait, because I don't remember the last time I saved, and then Cal once again does something stupid. Cal here falls for the visions and ends up breaking his lightsaber. We then need to bail from the planet and go get ourselves a new kyber crystal to fix the saber. So we head to Ilum, home of the Jedi Temple, and have a platform puzzle trek until we get to the end where we find the crystal. Only to have it break. Then, in a vision, Cal takes his old saber, BEB's saber, and the crystal, now split in two, and makes the new saber, finally getting new colors. I wish white was available here, but purple will have to do. We then get the next ability, that by expending force we can split the saber into two and dual wield it. Man, just like in Sword Art Online, they really try to do all they can to hype up dual wielding, a semi-normal combat technique. Weird. So, after we get armed again, we need to escape, during which time I used BD1 to hijack a bot and used it to help me take out enemies in combat for a trophy. Now we can head back to Dathomir and face the Sith. We get to talk more easily with Marin and find out she's actually a haughty goth baddie. Somehow she's even hotter holding our lightsaber. I also managed 100 precision evades for another trophy. Then proceeding to fight with a Sith, a dual-wielding red saber user. About halfway through the fight, Marin joins us from time to time. This boss is a bit tricky to read, but isn't too bad, now that we have two things. I wasn't going to mention it until here, but this game feels weird to progress through, as we start off feeling overpowered with 1, 2, and 3-shotting enemies for a time, especially against bosses. Damage against started to fall off and started to feel really pitiful. This is until you can get the perk in the skill tree where all saber damage is boosted, and then it feels good to play again. This perk, coupled with the dual wield special attacks, makes short work of multiple enemies and can melt boss health bars. So the Sith gets knocked down to about 10% of his health, and then Marin seals the deal by burying the Sith alive. Shortly after this, I took down the last type of bounty hunter, earning the triple take trophy. With the treasure and the hot goth babe in tow, we can head back to the safe hidden planet to open the vault. In the room below the ship, there's an annoying puzzle with a ball to earn some stuff, and we can get the final crew member, a pet, which earns us a trophy. Now, with basically all of the abilities, I explore the planet a bit more and get a trophy, finally, for collecting 75 Force Echoes. I then find a tougher enemy and use all 3 sabers to damage it for a trophy. We then open the vault, and having a scene seeing the purge in great detail for Cal, and then have another tease fight with the second sister. At this point, I could go to end the game, but it was all time for cleanup, getting all the chests, upgrades, seeds, and so on. So I hunt down all 4 mysterious creatures, unlock all Jedi skills, explore the extra area on Zepho, defeat 25 enemies under the effect of slow, something way more annoying to do than it sounds, defeat 20 enemies with explosives, which feels like it should have popped way earlier, find all the stem canisters, complete all the maps, find all the logs, find all chests and secrets, and then plant all the seeds in the terrarium. Now onto the end game. We storm the Imperial Fortress to get the prize from the vault that the second sister stole, fighting our way through multiple waves of enemies. We can finally confront the second sister in a proper boss fight, where she feels cheap, but isn't the worst. Once we get her down, we get robbed of the kill, because Darth Vader shows up. We get a fight against him, where he's so badass he doesn't even have a health bar. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Once we get away from him and get into the elevator, the trophy for completing the enemy compendium pops. And once the bug-eyed bitch helps us escape, we can claim victory, netting us the endgame trophy. Though I kinda thought the ending was predictable, where the treasure of the vault is a full list of force-sensitive beings, mostly children, across the universe. Of course, it gets destroyed, which makes a lot of this feel like this was all for nothing. Oh well. Only 1 trophy left, and since this final section was long enough, we just need to inspect the terrarium to see it in all its glory, netting us the final trophy and the platinum. Sweet. So this game was a bit weird. It was mostly tedious and feels strangely dated, even though it came out in 2019. Mostly from things like no minimap or compass. The difficulty feels like it's all over the place, nothing set much in stone. I'm glad I didn't play on the hardest difficulty, as most people say it's just frustrating. The character designs for the humans could be better, honestly. Cal, BEB, the Sith guy, and even the Resistance fighters all could look better, more appealing. No fast travel also really hurts my soul. So much backtracking. Dathomir was pretty bad, but completing Kashyyyk was way worse, and Zepho was pretty annoying too. And I didn't mention it, but scanning shit with BD1 is annoying as sometimes he just won't scan, and a lot of times there isn't even a prompt for it. I hope they fix his scanning in the sequel. The Platinum Trophy for me was a 4 out of 10, due to some of the bosses being annoying and some guides being needed to find the chests and secrets. As for overall, the game is only about a 70 out of 100. For as cool as it could be, the game only just necks it out as average. Quality of life, more streamlined areas, fast travel, less backtracking from planet to planet, and getting the double jump earlier all would help boost its score. But the worst part has to be the sheer ugliness of the human characters. The order of the characters for design and looks is easily Marin, Second Sister, Vader, Cal, the Sith dude, and from there it just goes to shit with the bug-eyed bitch being the worst. I hope the sequel is better, less tedious, and is overall better and more coherent. So until next time, like and subscribe, stay tuned for Jedi Survivor, and check out the full playthrough if you want. And remember, Only losers would pick the piss yellow color for the lightsaber.